Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today, cracking some really legendary lager that I'm really lucky to be sitting with a bottle of and a glass of. So this is going to be really fun to try because this is going to be my first beer and probably the only time in the bottle at home in Denmark from Witzgall. Witzgall is one of the most famous lager breweries in Franconia amongst lager nerds. It's a really hype brewery, and for being really old money, like in America, a brewery like this would have averages on their lagers that are like 4.3 to 4.5. It's rarely that happens, but like Hill Farmstead has some lagers that are 4.3 or something like that. This brewery would have those ratings, I think, in America, if you compare the European ratings to the American ones, because this is like almost 4 on most of their beers, which is insane in Europe. Most lagers have 3.6 to 3.3, especially classic stuff, which is stupid, blurred. But this will be fun to try because this is something I've been wanting to try for so long. And now I'm sitting with a bottle, which is amazing because I did not get to visit Witzgall in Schlammersdorf or also Hallerndorf. Because of time constraints when I've been in Franconia. Usually it's been centered in Bamberg and then touring around. And it's always been with trade fairs usually as well. Brauerei and whatnot. So Witzgall is a very small local brewery. I think they make, is it 3 or 4 different beers only? It's like next to nothing. Let's see here. I'll just double check. Witzgall. Yeah, they make 3 different beers. They have a Festbier, Vollbier, Landbier. That's it. Okay, they're not 4s, but they're close, which is really high for European stuff. But what's very special about this brewery is that they only serve locals. They have a tavern. They serve the beer there, and you can drink it. And I've been told from friends that's been there that it's amazing. And from a lot of lager friends that it's some of the best lager you'll ever try, especially at the source. So now bucket list, need to go there. But they also produce bottles. Super short shelf life, only 3 months to get it drunk fresh. But you can't buy it. The only way to be able to buy, and I think they usually only sell them by the crates. So the only way to buy it is to be situated in the city, being a local. You can buy a crate, you can take it home, but you have to return the crate with the bottles for washing and refilling because they have old systems. They have a filling line with bottles, washing line, all these things. A lot of breweries have this of the traditional old breweries in Germany. They wash bottles and refill them and whatnot. So they do that system there, and therefore is incredibly hard to get. And sometimes bottles get out, but it's rare occasions, and it's when it's friends with the brewer and whatnot sharing it. Now, how did I get a hold of said bottle of rare beer that they don't let anyone but locals buy? I got it from some good friends of Bad Seed and customers called Ølpiksen. Ølpiksen is a small bottle shop in the north of Denmark in Frederikshavn, and the couple who owns it, they came to buy some Bad Seed beer. And they talked to us about having been on a trip to Bamberg and visiting breweries and whatnot along the way. And I was interviewed in a podcast where I gave some recommendations and things like that. And there's different things where I talked about breweries. And I mentioned breweries that they then visited and they had some great experiences. But what they did was that they brought Bad Seed beers with them to share with some of these classic Franconian brewers, because we're inspired by the heritage of Franconia in some of our beers. So they went to Witzgall and they talked with them and they said, so we heard from these guys at Bad Seed that you are a bucket list brewery for them. They never tried your beer. They never got to visit your brewery, but they are really wanting to try it. And they talked about our mission was spreading awareness about classic styles and lagers, and our project around fresh lager called Brauerei, where we have lager packaged and it's released in bars throughout Denmark only 3 or 4 days after packaging, so it's dead fresh. And all these things, and they talked about them, gave the beers, and they actually allowed them to buy bottles. They were allowed to buy 4 bottles, but they could only do it if they could bring empty bottles. So they went down to a local supermarket, bought 4 random lagers, opened them, poured out the contents, brought them back to Witzgall, and got 4 bottles of Vollbier. So that's how I got this, which is amazing. So thanks so much for sharing this, guys. This is the only opportunity I would have to get to try this unless I drove down or next time I'm down in Franconia. This is definitely one of those breweries I need to visit on the next trip. I can't wait to try Witzgall for the first time. A Vollbier. So it's a Vollbier they do. They do a Festbier and they do a Landbier, I think they call it, which is a Zwickel/Keller, then it's a Helles, and then it's a Märzen. So let's check out the Vollbier here, the Helles. So pours a really nice, light hazy, golden yellow color. It had a really nice frothy head when I poured it out. Nice streaming carbonation, really looks the part for the style. And when I cracked it, I could smell that vibrancy that I want from fresh lager. So let's check out the aroma on this one. I'm stoked. Smells exactly like what I expected. Super vibrant, crisp, and clean lager. But it has a touch of that Franconian rustic flair. That like touch of more deep, like bready nuance or something like that. I overfilled this glass, so it's a little bit hard to smell. But yeah, really nice aromatics. A good amount of hops too. Floral, especially floral hops. A little bit of a grassiness. But it has like a lot of sim and sippiness and vibrancy. And it leans into that Franconian more rich Helles kind of thing, but it still has a lot of Munich heritage. That light crackeriness of the Munich Helles is definitely there. It smells dope. Let's try some Witzgall. I'm looking forward to this. Cheers. Thanks a ton to Ulbixen for the beer. Yeah, that's really good. Really, really well lagered, really crisp, really clean. You could drink this by the bucket. You truly could. Or by the Maas, or by the Stein. We're going to dunk the rest in now already because I know where this is going. Down the hatch. I'm not going to be able to not drink the entire thing in the review, I'm afraid. This is really good. It has that rustic edge, especially on the back now. Like almost like rustic breadiness. Like I've talked about these nut loaves before. Or even maybe even like digestive biscuits. Because it's got that crackery, saltine-esque without the salt. That light cracker thing. Ritz cracker or something with digestive notes, like a robust crackeriness. I think that may be more than breadiness. It's only got a great body, 4.7%, really rich body for the ABV, very velvety. It's quite floral on the hop profile, but also more spicy on the palate. Like digging in with like spicy, peppery notes on the back. Yeah, this is just gonna go down way too fast, I know. I need to pace myself a little bit, but I just really want to slam it. This is just really good Helles. It is. Is it the best Helles in the world? I don't know. It's just really good Helles. I think I'd probably be even more stoked about drinking it at the source. But this is like style-wise to a T. And upper echelon of the style. I really like the rusticness of it that it sits with and all the crispness about it as well. Like it feels like it's more than just a Pilsner malt that's in there. So it's either decocted once or it's a touch of something to give some, or maybe it's just a really rustic flavored Pilsner malt. That could be it too. And then a nice vibrant hop flavor that feels very true to Helles. It's not overhopped in one. You do get examples where the hop character is maybe even more intense. But man, this is fucking great. If I had to compare it to more commercial examples, if you think of the two most popular commercial examples, Tegernseer and Augustiner, if you think of those, but with a more rustic malt edge, you kind of got it. And maybe a little bit more sippiness and vibrancy, That could be because this is a really fresh bottle, straight from the source, and not some kind of supermarket shelf beer. I really need to go visit Witzgall and drink this at the source. So why is it called Vollbier on the label and not Helles? I think it's a tax thing in Germany. A Vollbier is something to do with the taxation in terms of ABV or something. There's Schankbier, which is lower in ABV. And then there's Vollbier. We're not going to research all now. So it's not technically a style. It's just something you put on labels. You know, down in Franconia, there's so many things. So like the beers that are called lager beer I've talked about and everything. It's just a magic place for lager. Like, it's one of those must-visit places if you're a beer geek. And if you're starting to get into lagers, it's like the pilgrimage, I think, Franconia. So sitting in the glass, you get a bit more of that floral edge. And it's still very spicy and peppery. Really balanced bitterness. It's just a dead-on fucking style, perfect Helles. And it's great. It's a 95. Like, this is world-class Helles lager. It's awesome. It drinks how it's supposed to. This bottle is in pretty good condition, and I'm sure I would like it even more at the source. Could even be maybe just a small 95, and then maybe at the source it's even higher. I think maybe, yeah, small 95. But I'd still call this world-class. This ticks all boxes for Helles, and I've had so many like craft interpretations and whatnot. It's just not, it's halted a little bit compared to this. It lacked all the nuance, fine layers, and complexity. Like, where it's not been too bombastic in different parameters. And you definitely see some Helles in Franconia that are more hoppy, more bombastic. Like, if you compare this to Schlenkerlas unfiltered Helles, that's much more bitter, much more hoppy. It's a very different beer than this. And it has that light touch of smoke. But this is dope. This is just really, really good lager. And I actually paced myself and didn't drink everything in the review, which I'm stoked about. So, yeah, 95 for Witzgall Vollbier. Really, really good. One of the best Helles lagers I've had from Franconia. One of the best Helles lagers I've had, maybe. It's something you should seek out. So if you're planning a trip to Bamberg and the region of Franconia, then put Witzgall beer on your travel itinerary. This is a brewery to go drink beer from, because that's the only way you're going to try it. So if you guys already tried some Witzgall, let me know what you thought of it. I know a few people that say it's like the best. A lot of industry people as well. So maybe some of you guys have been lucky to try it. Let me know who follow the channel, who are maybe not industry people. But this is really good. I urge you guys to check it out. So go to Bamberg and drink it. Go to Franconia and drink it. And if you guys already had it, let me know. As always, comment, subscribe, check out all the social media stuff, and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I want to say cheers in some fantastic world-class Helles, and see you guys in another beer review.